Police have seized several military-style weapons from a self-described Nazi.
So to get those guns, agents turned to a special team of local prosecutors for help.
Law enforcement has been watching, and now in a first-of-its-kind case, taking action. Now they don't have to wait for a crime to happen. They can use a civil gun seizure firearms enforcement unit. Its mission, get guns like these as early as possible. The ink is barely dry.
The order was just issued half an hour ago.
Inside the couple's apartment,
It's a Russian-made shotgun.
newly filed court documents reveal that police have seized 9 firearms from the self-proclaimed Washington leader of Atomwaffen, Caleb Cole. We've been unable to reach Caleb Cole, who's lived in Whatcom and Snohomish counties, for a comment. He's not charged with a crime, and prosecutors insist they are not targeting his free speech.
So it's a civil matter, and Caleb has not been arrested.
He is not arrested.
Okay.
He is only basically charged by lawsuit in a thing that allows them to remove his weapons.
And search warrants to come into your place.
The aggressive tactics are a change from the slow and sometimes ineffective courtroom procedures involved in weapons surrender orders. Seattle and King County committed $1 million to get cops out here on the street going after those guns. It's a rare case of the justice system trying to stop a crime before it happens.
I've had the pleasure, it's the best part of this job, is to call and say, the guns are secured. We know where they are.
Seattle City Attorney Pete Holmes says federal authorities have been monitoring Caleb Cole. And there's this photo posing armed with his girlfriend, who is Canadian.
Unfortunately, one who possesses really alarming numbers of weapons.
Holmes says his office got involved when approached by the Seattle FBI. Agents did not have the evidence to charge Cole with a crime, but they did think Cole and his growing stash of firearms posed a significant threat to public safety and sought a civil extreme risk protection order, or ERPO.
So you can understand some of our skepticism when we hear folks calling for a new category of prohibited persons that cannot purchase or possess firearms when we've done such a dreadful job with the current categories.
Should we disarm this guy? Absolutely.
Prosecutors in King County and the city of Seattle formed the Regional Firearms Enforcement Unit with Seattle Police 2 years ago. Since then, they've used court-authorized weapon surrender orders to seize nearly 1,100 firearms, mostly from domestic abusers, but also those who pose a public threat.
The fact that the federal government came to us, federal law enforcement, there's no other mechanism like our firearms unit that's in existence. There's no one else in the state of Washington.
When a judge granted prosecutors an extreme risk protection order, police say they seized not only military-style assault rifles, but also these AR-15 parts that could be used to make machine guns.
And the tools where they could make homemade guns that were untraceable.
City Attorney Pete Holmes says it shows how far things have come since he first envisioned the Firearms Enforcement Unit in 2017. Now they don't have to wait for a crime to happen. They can use a civil gun seizure if they can convince a judge. And even the FBI wants to get in on that. That's what we learned from a case like this.
Caleb has not been arrested.
He is not arrested.
Okay.
He is only basically charged by lawsuit in a thing that allows them to remove his weapons.
I like taking the guns early. You could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process second.
Teresa Phillips and the Firearms Unit, which began as a pilot project last year, have already quadrupled the number of guns seized.
How common is this kind of program where police will actually go out and grab those guns?
This program is believed to be the first of its kind in the country. Yeah, and hopefully this is catching on.
Let me ask you another question. What process is currently afforded an American citizen before they go on that list?
I'm sorry, there's not a process afforded the citizen prior to getting on the list. There is a process should someone feel they are unduly placed on the list.
Yes, there is. And when I say process, I'm actually using half of the term due process, which is a phrase we find in the Constitution, that you cannot deprive people of certain things without due process. So I understand Mr. Good's idea, which is wait until your right has been taken from you and then you can petition the government to get it back. I understand that that's his idea. My question is, can you name another constitutional right that we have that is chilled until you find out it's chilled and then you have to petition the government to get it back? Is that true with the First Amendment?
Sir, there are strict criteria before.
That's not my question, ma'am. That is not my question. My question is, what process is afforded a United States citizen before that person's constitutional right is infringed, then he's fine with doing it with the Second Amendment. My question is, how about the First? How about we not let them set up a website or a Google account? How about we not let them join the church until they can petition government to get off the list? How about not get a lawyer? How about the Sixth Amendment? How about you can't get a lawyer until you petition the government to get off the list? Or my favorite, how about the Eighth Amendment? We're going to subject you to cruel and unusual punishment until you petition the government to get off the list. Is there another constitutional right that we treat the same way for American citizens that we do the Second Amendment? Can you think of one? Can you think of one?
I don't have an answer for you, sir.